Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? The Saints go on the road to Seattle and win it 13-10. Yes, it was ugly. It was hideous at times, no doubt about it. But I'm going to tell you something. Anyone who has ever been, if you've grown up, a fan of the New Orleans Saints, except for anybody who basically only knows the last 15 years as your entire basis of awareness about this organization, you will know this to be true. There were many Sundays and Mondays where if you were a Saints fan, you were very disappointed by the way the team played and by the result of the game. And something I guess I learned very early in my Saints fandom is that you never, ever apologize for a win in the NFL. It is hard to win an NFL football game where the margin is so small. It is hard to win in the NFL. It is harder still to go on the road and win in the NFL. And even more so when it's rainy and cold and you're without a handful of starters. But that's what the Saints did. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It was ugly. We all saw it. The Saints have a complete dearth of pass catchers right now who continuously let them down. They are leaning heavily on one of the best offensive players in the league in Alvin Kamara and an incredible defense. And so far, that has been enough to get this team to 4-2. They're 3-1 in road games, but really that's all 4 wins away from the Dome, because the home game that they beat the Packers, it was in Jacksonville. The fact that the Saints through 6 weeks are sitting there at 4-2 with all of the personnel losses they've had and having been a nomad team for a month is incredible. It's a major hat tip to Sean Payton and this coaching staff and the organization and culture that they've built, where the personnel losses and all of the outside and ancillary distractions have not weighted this team down, that they're at this point now at 4-2. I want to delve into the game a little bit, but that is a big picture thesis that needs to be recognized. The Saints are 4-2 right now. They're 4-2, and they're going to play Tampa Bay in the Dome on Halloween night or Halloween afternoon. And with a win, you'd be leading the division. I understand how big of a task that is, but context matters. And you're going to keep getting guys back. The whole idea with this team is keep it on the rails. Keep the train on the rails until you are whole. And when you are whole, make your run and see what you can be. I understand what Sean Payton is doing right now with Jameis Winston. Look, he threw it 35 times last night, so he did start to open it up a little bit, and it was not pretty. You can blame the weather. You can blame Jameis's accuracy. You can blame the receivers. All 3 played a role, no doubt. But you still managed to win a road game in the NFL that continues on the pace where you need to be to get where you want to go in the postseason. We'll talk about some of the nuance of this game. First, Sean Payton after the win, on the win in Seattle.
Obviously, always a tough place to play on the road, dealing with the noise. Thought our defense really played well after the one explosive early on. We knew it was going to be one of those games that field position was going to be important, ball security was going to be important, and I think preparing in our mind for what we thought the weather was going to be like, maybe it wasn't quite that. I've never heard of bomb typhoon, but that kind of gets your attention, and I thought we, for the most part, handled the weather. Kicker did a great job, and I thought in the special teams, the kicking game, we did some good things too.
You know, Sean Payton is in a good mood when he's talking about his kicker and complimenting his kicker. Let's start with the offense. Jameis Winston was not great. 19 of 35 for 222 and a touchdown. Who was great? Alvin Kamara. Led the team in rushing and receiving. Quite honestly, without Alvin Kamara, the Saints don't win the game. That's not a stretch. We all understand it if you watched it. He carried the ball 20 times and had 10 receptions for 128 yards. Basically, the 2-minute drive that the Saints had before the end of the first half was Alvin Kamara. the biggest play of the game, the 3rd and 10 in the fourth quarter, you hand the ball off on a draw to Alvin Kamara. When in doubt, just give it to 41 because he is one of the best offensive players in the NFL, and he is the best offensive player you have on your team, and that is not even debatable. Alvin Kamara carried this offense to the 13 points that he was able to get in the game last night. Shame on me for thinking Tre'Quan Smith might actually bring something of value to this team. I'm not even mad at him. I'm mad at myself for convincing myself that there might be some functional purpose that he could serve on this team. It's a waste of a draft pick. He's a total bust. He's not a good receiver. Even when he was open last night, he screwed up. He either dropped passes or the first drive where they had Tre'Quan Smith open on a deep ball and Tre'Quan cut his route off short. You could say, well, he needs time to develop that. I got a large enough sample size with this guy. He's been in the NFL long enough. You need to nail that play when you are a professional. Routinely, he doesn't. He's a waste. I have no time for maybe a great person. That's not what I'm saying. As a member of this football team, a productive member of this football team, he gives you nothing serviceable. Goodbye, Tre'Quan Smith. You're actually in a game last night where Tre'Quan Smith and Kenny Stills and my goodness, this was a game where you actually saw the Saints activate Kevin White and throw him 2 passes. That's how desperate they are. So, yes, the weather played a factor. Yes, Jameis's accuracy at times played a factor. I thought Brian Greasy did a good job on the broadcast highlighting a ball where, should have hit a receiver in stride. It's low and away. It's incomplete. No doubt. Receivers had opportunities. Even Adam Troutman, who caught 3 passes, the biggest one. Look, the first 2 receptions went for first downs. The third one, he fumbles because he doesn't protect the football. You give an anemic offense the ball in plus territory with a chance to tie the game. It sucked. I get it. It was an awful thing to look at. But I'm going to keep holding out hope that when you get Michael Thomas back in this offense, it's going to change the offense fundamentally. Because what Seattle did last night in the second half was they basically said 41's not going to beat us catching the football. And so they doubled in the whole rest of the half. And despite that, and one-on-one opportunities, no one else could make a play. You get Michael Thomas back involved in this offense, it tilts the field. Let me see what they look like with Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara on the field at the same time. I'm not here to tell you that it's going to be dramatically different, but it's going to be better than it was last night. The thing that's impressive about this team, however, is that they keep finding ways to win because the other two, as much focus as we put on offense, the other 2 phases of the game, they've been exceptional. On special teams and on defense, the Saints are exceptional. Even the one play that Seattle made in that game, the 84-yard touchdown reception by DK Metcalf, he should have been called for offensive pass interference on that play. Wasn't. Okay. Marshawn Lattimore got chippy. I get it. But DK Metcalf had 1 reception the rest of the game other than the play where he pulled Marshawn Lattimore to the ground and should have been called for offensive pass interference. So I'm good with the job the defense did. Even when Sean Payton mangled the end of the game by throwing the football instead of running clock and kicking the field goal and making Seattle burn its final timeout, he throws the football. It's incomplete. You gave them another timeout. Good on Brian Johnson for making the game-winning field goal. The defense comes out. DeMario Davis gets the sack and then the pass breakup. What more can you say about DeMario Davis? 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 2 pass breakups, including the one right at the end of the game that won it for New Orleans. I tweeted this last night. There's 2 things I ponder in life. Number 1, why are we here? And number 2, how in the world did the Jets and Browns give up on DeMario Davis? I guess that's why they're the Jets and the Browns. Unbelievable. DeMario Davis was just stellar last night, as was the rest of the Saints defense. So they found a way to get a win. On to the next. Short week with Tom Brady and the Bucs, who are just a freight train right now, coming into the Dome on Halloween night. Dome is going to be lit. Let's see if the Saints can find a way to put it together. The thing that I am going to wait to see, though, offensively, what happens when Mike Thomas is there and Deontay Harris is there? Then Marquez Callaway can become your 3 instead of your 1. Tre'Quan Smith can just go sit his ass on the end of the bench for all I care. And then last night you didn't have the element that Taysom Hill brings into the offense, which we know what that means as a passer, not as a passer, as a pass catcher, as a runner, as a blocker. Yes, when this team is whole, I'm waiting to see what it looks like when it's whole. And in the meantime, They keep finding a way to win and keep themselves relevant, and they're on their way. Saints get the win 13-10 in Seattle on Monday Night Football. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.